Here we go. Good evening, everyone. Oh my, that's a lot of lag. All right, well, hi, everybody. Weird. All right, that's fine. No worries. Just have to be aware of that, I suppose. Anyway, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to our Dragon Age Origins stream, where, like I said in the post today and in the implied, at least in the thumbnail, we are going to a weird part. We're into the Deep Roads, which naturally has some of the strangest darkspawn atrocities and horrors and such in this game. Maybe the series? That's a stretch. Certainly in this game. Maybe until Awakening, the major story DLC. There's some really freaky, strange stuff in there. So maybe there, but either way, legendarily creepy and strange things to come. So let's go into it. Let's get started. This should be a good time if we get there. So I don't want to waste too much of our time here. I do want to get in. I want to actually get to what the hell the thumbnail is about. I don't want to miss out on that. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Kylie. I get the impression that Kylie joins the stream, like, just pulls it up as soon as it appears on either my Facebook feed or in Discord or whatever, whichever the case might be. Yes, Kevin. Tatties. Alright, so last time we left off, we just requested First Enchanter Irving to allow Dagna, I believe her name was, the dwarf from Orzammar, to come and join the Mages Circle, despite, of course, dwarves' ineptitude for magic, their incapacity to cast spells, complete lack of any affinity for magic whatsoever. But she wants to join the circle anyway to study magical theory, which I think is just fascinating. I probably would too, even if I weren't a mage. That sounds just like a fascinating area of study, because why not? Magic is not too terribly well understood, particularly if I had the unique position of being a dwarf. That would be certainly an interesting thing to do. You pull it up a few minutes before it starts, that's all. Okay. Well, that's more reasonable than I was thinking, but... Alright, let's go back to Orzammar, yes? Here we go. Anaconda squeeze from Kevin. Nice. And we're waiting. Wow, that's quite the loading screen, sorry. Am I not... Hold on. Am I not getting game audio? It doesn't look like it. Okay, let me fix that real quick. Oh, that's why. Here. Testing? How's that? Is that better quality sound? Properties. Default. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? There we go. All right. Looks like we're all working. Sorry, I accidentally had my webcam recording my audio, which I shouldn't do. It doesn't do a very good job. I mean, it does okay, but this is far better. Anyway, let's see. Let's go talk to Dagna. Certainly better narration.
Hello, how can I... Oh, it's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said.
Alright. Hopefully that's better. Also, there's a heck of a lag. There's a nice solid minute. So I apologize. There's more of a lag than usual. So if I am lagging behind seeing your guys' chats and reactions, that is explained through the technology. First Enchanter Irving accepted you for study.
Ancestors, bless you. I can't believe it. There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since your Relden in the 13th century. I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books? Tuition?
Nothing. The mages need every ally they can get.
Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If you ever go to the circle again, maybe I'll see you there.
Ellie asks if I know of anything fun to do in Lakeland or Plant City. Not when the, like, for Strawberry Festival and stuff isn't in town. Not in particular. There's always eating. But beyond that, I'm really not sure. Not offhand, no. Sorry. Alright, let's head into the deep roads, I think, right? Let me make sure that's our Mother's Hope, Anvil of the Void. To Ortan Tig. I'll have to do that eventually, once I get enough herbalism. And Tig for the Thief. That I'll have to figure out eventually. The Proving Ground. I'll go to the deep roads, and then maybe I'll do that afterwards.
Careful out there.
Okay. Anyway, so let's venture forth to Carridan's Cross. All right. And so speaking of eating, I made a taco salad subbed the beef with mahi mahi. That sounds pretty awesome. It does sound pretty awesome. I love a good fish taco. Mahi mahi is a really good fish for it.
I can't believe Balin actually tracked this place down. This used to be one of the biggest crossroads in the old Empire. You could get anywhere from here, including Ortan Tig.
What's so important about Ortan Tig?
It's the home of Carridan, the paragon who made the anvil. He was an Ortan before he founded his own house. And even then, he spent most of his time in their Tig. Branka figured it was the best guess for where the anvil was located.
Do you know anything else about the anvil?
No one but Carridan ever really knew more than it had some kind of stone-blessed power. Every golem who ever ranged across the Empire was hammered on the steel of that anvil. But no one ever knew exactly how they were made. But Branka was sure she could find out.
Ooh, Kevin says lime juice really set it off. Yeah, that does sound... That is the trick for fish in general. Or lemon, I guess, depending on the recipe, but usually lime. And then also really what you need for any kind of sort of lighter flavored tacos, or tacos especially, but really any kind of Mexican dish. Things like even like barbacoa, which is beef, slow cooked beef type thing. Even that needs a good bit of lime juice. So do you know where to go from here?
Aye. Branka dug up some maps of the ancient empire. It's a little tough to tell with so much of it collapsed now. But near as I can figure, we're on the right path to Ortan Tig.
Any sign of Branka yet?
Not a one. But trust me, we will once we're on the path to the old Ortan Tig. She was going to Carridan's home.
Great, let's go.
I've been waiting for someone to say that for 2 sodding years.
Hired goons, huh? That doesn't sound good. Alright. Ooh, sprinkled sea salt, Kylie suggests. That does sound pretty good.
Well,
Hi there.
Look what we have here.
It's gonna go
Some
well.
of Balin's new toadies. Let's show him who's king.
Okay, here we go. Let's just do that. I need to go after the mage first. Oh, darn. not that. I meant fireball. Darn it. Fine. I think I'll just wait to resurrect him. Wait for him to pop up on his own, honestly, at this point. All right. And he says, oh yes, I'm warming up to, oh, and simple cilantro, Kevin adds as well. I'm warming up to cilantro. I haven't liked it for a long time. Yeah, I do like it. I do like, likewise, when I was a kid, I really hated cilantro. And I was afraid I had the cilantro soap gene. But since then, I've actually really come to like it in a lot of things, and not just in just ordinary, like cilantro, but also coriander, which is basically cilantro seeds. But works very differently in terms of the kind of flavor profile it gives to things. Kevin says, "Who's Long Tim?" Jim Halpert. I do not remember that. It's been a long time since I've watched any significant part of The Office, so that is not ringing bells. Tim, sorry.
I've seen a golem or two in my time.
Ooh.
We have them in Orzammar.
It is indeed wise in the ways of the golem. It deserves a medal.
Thing is, I don't remember anyone ever mentioning about them having memory problems.
Perhaps they're not the ones with the memory problems.
I talked to a golem once. It didn't have anything interesting to say, but its memory, sharp. It could tell you what you were wearing at the Barnack Festival 10 years ago.
Probably vomit and flies and little else, if I were to guess.
Of course, if someone simply claimed to have lost their memory, that would avoid some awkward questions.
Jesus.
Is it still talking? It is not drinking, so it must be.
Fine, fine. You go on and don't answer me. You'll screw up sooner or later.
Jesus. Okay, so Kevin says I've watched that he's watched the entire series 15 times. That seems a little excessive, but what else is Netflix for, I guess? Then Kylie says Long Tim is the cousin of Long John Silver, who runs the other chain of food in the poultry variety. Oh, you have not watched. So, okay, I'm assuming you just made that up. I thought that was an actual joke from The Office that I had forgotten. You had me fooled. Alright, wait. Which way should I go? Oh. Lord, this is a big map. I forgot how big this map was. Kevin says, I love The Office. Love it. Honestly, I have always liked, of the sort of workplace comedies, I've always liked Parks and Recreation more. And just in sort of earlier than that, I never got into it because it was concurrent with Scrubs for a long time, and I just generally liked Scrubs a lot better. And Fireball! Oh god, right in the middle of it. Okay, now we're good. Let's go Cone of... Nope. I'm gonna have to go kill those guys back there soon. Kevin says, I love Parks and Rec too. That's true, you don't really have to choose, I suppose, but I did choose regardless. Let's go right there. New spell. And fire. This is incredible.
Yes. How amusing.
Let's make this
Uh-oh,
quick.
trap. That's not good. Jail.
And I'm
Fireball.
Come and get it. Push them back.
Alright. Back off a little bit and recover. Oh! Nope, no recovery. Ooh! Ooh! Chain lightning's bad. Oh, really bad. Okay. First of all, give me your mana. Second of all, give me your health. Third of all, not that. Everyone heal. Fourth of all, lyrium. Fifth, firestorm. Ooh. Okay. Everyone seems to like Parks and Rec. And Kevin says, I love the small beans wit. More, please. Of, I assume you're talking about the, Long Tim.
And I'm off.
That was quick thinking. That was a very quick way of coming up with, utter nonsense, to answer my, my lack of knowledge of something. That was good. Alright, so... This says, when the wit comes to me again, the wit shall be immaculate, my friend. Yeah, I can respect that wittiness really comes in fits and starts and is not all that predictable. I get that entirely. Liliana, open these chests for me, shall you? Yeah. Doubt that that's any good, but it's alright. Let's see. Darkspawn, shortbow. No, not very good. Not very good. Okay. Oh, that'll do. Let's keep moving. All right. You know, I don't know if I've actually mentioned this anywhere. That you guys, my audience generally speaking, would be too aware of it, but after the stream Monday, I had some work to do. Like I said, I wrapped up early because I had some work to do. So I was working on some things, and Michael was not being very cooperative and being very sleepy. So I wound up being up very late, helping her with trying to get him down to sleep. Didn't work too well, unfortunately. I wound up being up until like 7. And also wound up getting a nice little baby foot to the throat and I think a bruised larynx or something.
Drop right ahead.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. All right, well, let's do these traps, shall we?
Right ahead.
That's a lot of traps. How about we... Wait, did I already just fireball? No, I didn't. Anyway. Yeah, he pretty much karate kicked me right in the throat. I don't actually remember it happening in, like, precisely, because, again, I was up till 7. So I don't remember if it was actually, good form or not. Either way, he did some damage. Nothing too terrible or too permanent, obviously, but to the point where it was it's still a bit bruised. And so I can't really turn my neck in certain directions. So if I look a little stiff or if I move a little funny or anything like that, that would explain why.
Yes, my friend.
It also meant that because I was up until almost time for class, that also meant that I was not exactly able to do my ordinary Zoom class. I wound up pre-recording a couple of lectures, which isn't so bad, really. One of which you will find in the description if you haven't seen it already. Because we were talking about... we were beginning to talk about objections to the existence of God. In particular, we were talking about Thomas Aquinas' objections to the existence of God, sort of leading into a separate discussion of the problem of evil. No, Kylie, I haven't tried icy hot. I have tried hot and then cold showers, which is basically the same thing. Ooh, hello. I can get another specialization. I'm gonna wait and see, because I want cleansing aura. It's just good. It's just real good, and there's nothing I need for it, so that's fine. Let's go with magic and cunning. What's cunning do? Okay, maybe I need that, but let's not. Let's go with magic for now. And let's go with Arcane Warrior. It's very good. Arcane Warrior. Combat magic. Basically, this lets you wear heavy armor as a mage, which is pretty awesome. But I think it's honestly more important that I focus on being a healer. So let's focus on being a healer. The healer. The party. Yeah. There. Kevin says, okay, so I encountered a difficulty regarding St. Thomas. Some dudes were arguing that you can be a Catholic and a socialist because St. Thomas argues that the state can rightly redistribute wealth. Because overabundance and lack means that the wealthy have stolen from the poor. Alright, so I will answer this. I'll give the short answer and then probably elaborate on the long answer. The short answer is no one exactly knows what the heck Thomas meant when he talked about the common good. It is a uselessly vague concept. And I mean this to the point where there are professional philosophers who almost exclusively study St. Thomas Aquinas who have no clue what he means when he says the common good. This is, I mean, kind of a big problem because it's essential to his political theory, which, I would argue is largely garbled. I don't think he has a very coherent political theory. And we can kind of see this based on the fact that he's based on what he says about things like the common good, that these are very very loose definitions. You know what? No. Let me take out the little guys first. Oh, he resisted it. Heck. That's not good. Oh, that's bad. Well, I got Cleansing Aura to deal with injuries on my other party members. I didn't think that I would get injured. Should have foreseen this. Oh well. Yeah, so the short answer is that, yeah, he kind of says something like that. But the problem is that it's that his social theory and his political theory are largely dependent upon the incredibly vague, almost vacuous concept of the common good, which, again, I've had explained to me by many philosophers who are not St. Thomas. Excuse me. And who have you basically explained it in many different competing ways, anywhere from the common good just meaning what modern economists would call public goods, things which are non-excludable and non-competitive and good for everyone when one person achieves them, things like justice. But then I've also heard some people describe it as the good of the society as a whole, right? Considered as a secondary substance. I've also had some people describe it as a uniquely religious form of the former, of goods that are non-excludable. Essentially, again, like I said, public goods. What modern economists would call public goods. And of course, I've gotten other more vague definitions than that. And again, I've spoken to a lot of Thomists about this, like working philosophers, professional philosophers, who are not, who don't have a dog in the Catholic social theory fight. Exactly. And what? Oh, shrieks. That's fun. All right. How about playing cold? Hey, Erica, these bastards make you think of anything? WizKid, you with us? Oh, great one. That's good. WizKid? These bastards make you think of anything in particular? I don't know if you're with us, but I know I sent him the link. Anyway. Right, so... Nice. Like I said, most of the philosophers who I know, most of the Thomistic philosophers I know, who I really work with, correspond with, talk with, and read a lot of literature from, don't really have a clear concept of what it is that Aquinas means by the common good, and that is essentially what he uses to back up these general ideas about excess wealth belonging to the poor. Right? And that's what you need, right? You need a theory where excess wealth, where you can, first of all, clearly define excess wealth, where that is, of course, relative to one's station in life, which is its own problem. Oh, jeez. we do with this? With that. Ah, jeez. There we go. A lot of blood. Anyway, yeah, so, as I was saying, I think that there's also the issue of this weird conditional, like I said, this conditional understanding of ownership. Right, that and it gets this from the Church Fathers, from a lot of the Church Fathers, that that excess wealth belongs to the poor. It is, in fact, the property of the poor. The problem with this is, of course, the specifics of like what that means. Like, what is excess wealth, and who is the poor? Ownership rights only make any sense and are only useful because they are specific. It's only useful at all to say that I own anything because I am easily distinguished as the owner. Without precise ownership rights, if I were to say that this piece of property belongs to, people or the poor or whatever, anything that is that vague, the problem becomes defining it. Defining very precisely what all of this means. It realistically can't be done. Uh-oh. Ogren, go around. Lyanna. Disarm. Shale. Throw a rock. And... oh, free... nah, I'm not going to freeze everyone. That's a waste of time. Oh, that's not a waste of time. Oh, crap. I should definitely freeze everyone. Right there. Where'd that mage go? There it is. Take some mana. Life Ward Ogren, because he's about to have a problem. With that. Heal. You know what? Let's fireball these three. Here we go.
Yes.
Can't heal everyone yet. It can do. He's dead, so we're fine. Okay, I think we're good. Here we go. All right.
Going.
Neat. That was tough. Anyway, so Kevin asks, So essentially, they're arguing a hard position from an ambiguous source, ignoring several popes, declares declarations regarding socialism because potato. Not because potato, because... No, I guess it's kind of because potato. They don't really have much reasoning for it. That said, I would say roughly the same about distributism. Because I would argue that distributism, despite its Catholic aesthetics, is indifferentiable from socialism with an agrarian touch. There's little noticeable difference between
Right ahead.
kind of where? Oh, I see it. Which way should I go here? Level.
All right. More darkspawn, hey?
Crap. And Frosty. That's it. All right. Kevin says, distributism is socialism run by a Catholic monarch. Yeah, more or less. A Catholic monarch who has a very, very tenuous grasp on economics and, honestly, and social theory. Or, I mean, I guess I should say political theory, which is, economics plus ethics. And again, a very tenuous grasp on it at best. Yeah, I guess this way. But there's spiders. Oh. Oh. Deep stalkers.
How about you then? All right, okay.
No way there's just one. There's never just one. Okay. Would you look at that? Let's just do this. Damn it, Shale. He's knocked over the Liana. All right. Yeah, I think, like I said, that's kind of my short answer. Is that I think that there are some really significant problems with Aquinas' definitions with respect to those aspects of social theory and political theory and distributive justice, if you will. Which, worth noting, distributive justice, not redistributive, but distributive justice in the Aristotelian terms, at least maybe not in Aristotelian terms, but in Aristotle, is not about who should be given what and what society should apportion, but is about exchange. Right? So distributive justice for Aristotle is about who should get what in an exchange, what makes an exchange fair, what is owed to others based on mutual agreement. Essentially, economic exchanges, ironically. So, yeah, there's this weird tendency to think of, oh, jeez, I did not see any of those. All right, freeze. Another one?
All right.
Kevin says the inconsistencies of... Really? Another one? Fine. The inconsistencies of other monarchists on a centrally planned economic system, to me, seems to stem from a lack of creativity and problem solving. Honestly, that's how I see basically every statist solution to every problem, is a lack of creativity and problem solving. I know that doesn't extend that far in terms of your own reasoning here, and we may disagree on that, in fact, but
Yes, I'm still here.
but realistically, thinking that we need the state, that we need coercion to do or to fund any given good, is just a lack of, like you said, a lack of creativity, I would argue. That we should be able to figure out how to do things without forcing people to. This is the old was it Larkin Rose, I think, contemporary political theorist, and sort of provocateur, admittedly, has kind of a catchphrase that good ideas don't require force. And what he means by that is not that, self-defense isn't a good idea or whatever. What he means is that you don't need to use violence to convince people to do things. Right? It's very different. Wizkid says, no more kings, no more states, only liberty. Kevin says, a king could easily encourage charity through cultural incentives and social pressure rather than coercion. Yeah, absolutely. Aaron asks, am I going to be a blood mage? No, in fact, I am arcane warrior and spirit healer. I did take the power of blood things from that DLC content. So I guess that kind of blood mage, but not the class. I never liked casting from hit points. It was never my favorite method for just about any system. Oh, we're back to where we started. I hate this level, the deep roads. Wizkid continues. Nah, you can't regulate morality like that. Only encourage it through social mores and societal structure. Well, yeah, that's correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what Kevin's referring to a large extent, except doing that with a respected monarch being that kind of example. That's what Anarcho Monarchism basically is. I've written on this, and I'm trying to think if I have it up, or if I'm going to have to find it, pull an archive and publish it. I mean, republish it. Because I've written on Anarcho Monarchism before. Let's see if I can find the text. If it's up, it'll be on my blog. If not, I can find an archive, and I'll republish it tonight or tomorrow. And essentially, it's a. I might actually also republish something that I just published in a publication from our university for professors to publish and stuff, which essentially lays out this distinction between power and authority, and that these are importantly distinct, and that the use of, well, again, I argue this further, this isn't in that article per se, but that the use of power, particularly the illicit use of power, can undermine one's authority. Meaning that, essentially, political coercion, when used, means that you are no longer an authoritative ruler, objectively speaking. Aaron, so this isn't an evil playthrough. Not evil, per se, but I typically play my wardens of almost every sort. I guess with the exception of Human Noble. At least most human nobles, as pragmatic, deeply pragmatic, willing to do Grey Warden-y type things to get the job done, but not, but otherwise going out of the way to be, the big damn hero of Ferelden kind of thing,
I may have a cause to apologize to the sister
Oh,
Apologize? For what?
for suggesting that the sister was gullible for believing in things which were not real.
Oh, that. I'd already forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me.
I suppose it would offer some comfort to believe that things occur according to some grand purpose. All those years I spent in Honleaf, unable to move, it would be comforting to think there was some reason for it.
Do you know there wasn't? Perhaps the Maker did it to bring you here, to us. You once said that you had no purpose. Perhaps you are simply looking for it in the wrong place.
Perhaps. I shall think on this.
this is an opportunity to talk about Providence, but I don't want to leave the topic just yet.
Looks like the right way out. Horton Tig.
That way, or which way? Which way's the right way out? Which way is this? That's Deep Roads.
It won't be long now.
Deep Roads, Deep Roads. What is over here, anyway? Let's check it out. Kevin, I'll wait until you finish that thought, and then I will get it out and apply. But essentially, right? So the two parts of this, the part that I have published already, and the part that I'm going to republish from before. Oh, jeez, that's not going to be good. Oh, come on. Thanks, Shale. There's more? Okay. Anyway. So the sort of two parts of this are that
Tell me.
I lay out this distinction between power and authority as being different things. Killing blow is nice. Or yeah. So this distinction between power, which is the ability to compel people to do things, right? Power in the sense of the ring, right? Tolkien's ring, Morgoth's ring, if you will, not so much Sauron's. So that is a large part of this. And then further, that the Anarcho King, or the Anarcho Monarch, is, if we want to be gender neutral, I guess, whatever, it can really, whichever. You can make an argument that the Anarcho King should be a king, not a queen, but I don't hold too fast to that. Firestorm. That it? Nope, not it. Jeez. Liliana, get the heck out.
Yes.
All right.
this should be fun.
Really? More? You kidding me? Firestorm.
Yes. All right. Hang that on. If you insist. Not enough. Here I am.
All right. I hope that's enough. I hope that's all of them. Are you serious? All right. Is that it? Finally? Anyway. Anyway, so where was I? Anyway, right. So going back to the topic at hand, right? So that the idea is that that the king who rules by authority, not power, has no enforcement mechanism, and rules through societal forces, example, and convincing. Right, essentially convincing, by decree that is by definition not enforced nor enforceable. So Kevin says the power of a leader acting as a mouthpiece for the downtrodden or less fortunate wouldn't need to come with the threat of direct action. Exactly. If the monarch is acting as a counterbalance to the corporate powers, he or she should merely advocate and organize a movement with massive voluntary economic power. Yeah, honestly, yes. I mean, it's if you insist on not calling that a king because they don't actually have political authority or political power, fine. I mean, then don't call it a king. I don't care. If you really don't want to call it a king, then don't. But because I guess it doesn't have political power, it doesn't have an enforcement mechanism. But if you're going to quibble that hard on definitions, then whatever. I've heard arguments of like, well, what's the difference between that and just like a community organizer or a CEO or whatever? And my point is that there is no difference between that and a community organizer or a CEO or something. It's just the name. It's called a king, and has some measure of accepted authority. Right? Authority which is accepted by the sort of larger part of society. That's it. That's all the difference is. That's all that makes them king, is that people hold them in high enough social esteem. All right, now let's get back out of here. I've spent too much time, I've wasted too much time in this little detour. What's that? I missed something over there. I'll find it. I'll figure it out eventually, I hope. Anyway. So Kylie said, "Y'all, my Bluetooth isn't working with me. Audio is now on the phone, but the time difference between the computer and the phone in relation to what part of the game is on is a lot. Ooh, that's rough. Yeah, that's definitely. I am sorry this took me so long to read that between having to talk about stuff, having to fight, and the delay in the stream already. But man, that sounds awful. WizKid says, Sauron is corruption and temptation, the will to power. Yeah, very much so. Yes. Exactly the will to power. It's very precisely the sort of call it allegorical meaning of the ring. And this, you see this in Tolkien's writing called Morgoth's Ring. This is part of the Silmarillion, I think, if I remember right. And it talks about the corrupting power that Morgoth, the devil, essentially, Melkor. Pick your favorite name. Oh, jeez, that's not good. Cone of Cold. Freeze him. Burn him. Float him. Shrieks are sneaky but squishy, so it's not too bad. Anyway. So, what I was saying, have any things for it. It is the will to power, right? The will to dominate all life. To quote the sort of introductory bit from Galadriel. Oh, Ogre Alpha. Is that the only one? That is the only one. All right, so let's just. Ooh, nice. All right, what's this do? Regenerating mana. Nah, Bloody Grasp. Let's do it. Liliana, go over there. Really? Over there. With Life Ward Ogren, because he's getting pummeled like hell. There we go. Got him. Soul Rod Bomb. Anyway, moving on in the chat. WizKid says like Aragorn, kind of, in terms of the Anarcho King. Kind of. I mean, J.R.R. Martin's Gurm and his notorious question of, well, what was Aragorn's tax policy like? Well, it's a dumb question. Why assume he had one? The point of rulership especially in that sort of archetypal sense is not to rule, it is to lead. And he is the archetypal leader rather than the ruler. Oh no, I see where this is going, Erica. I'm so reticent, but okay, I'll get there. Anyway, Gavin says probably where we could separate is that I would say king, and that would have enough power to enforce law that is intended specifically for protecting the basic natural rights. I mean, yes, I agree. I have no problem with that. The only issue would be, right, where does that, what happened? Uh-oh. This isn't good. This isn't good. And the game crashed. Darn. Alright, let's try this again. I might have to change graphic settings or something. I think we'll be fine, I hope. There's a small chance that we're gonna be doing another Red Dead or something. Oh no. It's been an hour. We're okay. I really hope I saved at some point here. I really hope it auto-saved, or else we're gonna be doing another slog. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, we got a little bit done. It's just...
Well, look what...
Let's, force field that guy. Are you serious? They're attacking the force-fielded guy. Fucking idiots. Alright. Need to steal some life from that guy.
Waste of time.
Unfold. Darn it.
We're on our way.
God, I didn't even get to the level. Ugh.
And I'm off.
Alright, I'm gonna have to start quick saving a lot more.
Yes.
It's F. What is the quick save? Hold on, I gotta look it up. Quick save, quick save, quick save. F5. Alright, cool. Quick save. That was awful. I'm so grunchy.
So, do golems know any good jokes?
I know at least one. It is a drunken dwarf that travels with the Grey Warden constantly belching
And I'm off.
Yeah, let's
A
just
real
go.
one. You must have overheard at least one or two standing there as you did for years and years.
There was a human man who once started telling a joke to another as he relieved himself on my leg. I confess I didn't listen. I was too busy planning my revenge.
Huh? What happened?
Alright, let's just wreck through here.
Let's end this.
Okay, back up. Retreat for a moment. Refresh, recover. Get some things. Alright. Okay, moving on forward. So, where were we? So anyway, my problem with a king, with at least the ruling authority of a king, is that realistically it's that the funding has to come from somewhere, right? If it is just a matter of, you know, the king's enforcement comes from his own private wealth or from what money he raises, either voluntarily or through whatever, fine, no problem. That's perfectly reasonable.
Yes.
Freezy time. It's Bernie time.
All right. And I'm off.
Oh, he's... damn it, he's hexed. Bastards.
Battle it is then.
Chugging potions, man. Jeez.
Make it breath.
Oh, crap, that's a good roll. Okay, I need mana drain. Life. Heal. Whew, okay, this is rough. This is very close, but alright. Alright, I think we're good. Come on. Alright, Ogred, get up. I'm so close to leveling. When I level, this will be fine. I can just healing aura. It'll get everybody's... get rid of those wounds. Anyway. So, where was I? Anyway, like I said, the problem with non-anarcho monarchism, in my view at least, is the
Yes?
where do they get the funds? Can you do so without... and also, can you enforce it and then even just commands? Can you pay for it, and can you do it without prohibiting competitors? Is the other thing, because again, prohibiting a competitor is just an unjust aggression against somebody else who is not doing anything unjust. They're just competing with the king. They're providing their own kingdom, so to speak. Which, I mean, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with that. Now, you might say that it's... Oh, wait, I do have to go around. All right.
And I'm off.
You might say that
Going.
it's... You know, there's one licit ruler and there are other illicit rulers, but again, that's decided upon by who listens to them, primarily. All right. Oh, wait. Quick save. Save. Anyway. So, whole new can of worms time. Whee!
If you insist.
There we go. Whew. All right, that was fun. All right, let's get that level up real quick. Quick save again. Loot the bodies. Magic. Warrior. Cleansing aura. Oh, right. I forgot to summon dog. Lesser health poultice. Come on.
Going.
Oh?
Where's the tavern?
Let's leave it. Drop it. All right. Anyway. So, now to the kettle of worms. Kettle of fish. Can of worms. Whatever. Pick your mixed metaphor. Erica says, here's another topic for when you're done with this one. Since you're playing a game with magic, talk about how anything that isn't Lord of the Rings is demonic. Obviously, anything that involves magic, any kind of high fantasy or whatever, is the devil.
Here I am.
This is I hope obviously a joke. This is about the recent controversy that has been in a lot of relatively traditionalist sort of Catholic groups that I'm in, mostly on Facebook. I guess almost exclusively on Facebook, about how Lord of the Rings is satanic, allegedly. Not Lord of the Rings, that Harry Potter is satanic. Which is kind of ridiculous. But to continue reading, let me just read through a bunch of these. Wizkid says exactly he didn't need one talking about Aragorn's tax policy, because he's the archetypal good king, whereas someone like Denethor, or better yet, corrupted Theoden, is the wicked king, who's forgotten his true purpose. Which, again, the only kind of king in Martin's fiction is the wicked king. So of course he would ask about such a thing. He would ask about the real politics, rather than the ideology. So, quick save. There's a little confusion here, according to people who don't know what they're talking about, right? So Kylie says, wait, people think Lord of the Rings is demonic? Who? And Erica responded, no, people think Harry Potter is really demons. There are some people who think that Lord of the Rings is demonic. It's pretty much limited, though, to Jack Chick, of Darkest Dungeon fame, which I'll see if I can find a link to that. Maybe that'll be a good watch together thing. He's the guy who, he's an evangelical, little comic writer and an evangelist type guy. who just insists that basically everything that isn't his particular favorite flavor of Christianity of the month is satanic. Hates Catholicism passionately. He hates Lord of the Rings. He hates... Oh, jeez, shrieks. That's not good. Ooh, this is going to be a fight. Play forward, Ogren. Jesus. Okay. But yeah, there are a few people who think Lord of the Rings is demonic. They're not smart. They're not smart people. But what are you going to do? Anyway, back up a little bit. Back to the chat while we're between fights. Yeah, about the game crashing. And again, I apologize. We're almost back to where we were, but obviously not quite. Yeah, Kevin says... you knew who we were talking about. Kevin says, Father Rippinger is one of those who has massive problems with Harry Potter. Yeah, he is one of the primary sources for a lot of these people, and it's really quite silly. He gets a lot of things that are factually wrong. Let me put, just to... Again, in the description. For fairness' sake... he gets a lot of things right on some things, but on this one he's, I think, way off base. He makes a lot of claims about Harry Potter to try and make the case that it's demonic. A lot of which are nonsensical and some of which are just slanderous. For example, he claims that J.K. Rowling went to some kind of witch school, which is, again, completely baseless. I've never heard any kind of substantiation of that claim from anybody. He claims things like that... I think the number between him and Father Amorth, I think, is the other guy. Amorth or Amarth. I think it's Amorth. Claim that 60% of the names in Harry Potter are actual names of actual demons. This is silliness, because most of the names in Harry Potter are ordinary British given names. There's clearly nothing demonic about most of the names in Harry Potter, like Seamus and Harry Potter. He also makes claims like, what was one of them? That there was a woman in Spain who burnt her house down, casting a spell for fire, when in fact what she was doing is she was on drugs and attempting to, and basically mixing various flammable liquids on the stove and burned her house down. After the fact, she claimed that she was making a potion. So yeah, that's definitely, that can definitely be considered, casting a spell, I suppose, if you're... Liliana, get away. You're ranged. Oof, so good. How about we drain you? There we go. Anyway, continuing along the chat. Trying to catch up with I'm trying to catch up here. Kylie says, I'm so behind. I know the whole scandal with Rowling, your opinions, but other than that, I have no idea what's happening in the fandom right now. Oh, this has nothing to do with the fandom. This is of the anti-fandom. I tend to think that the Harry Potter fandom is pretty cringe. The hardcore fans, at least. And I really do, again, the whole trans issue with respect to Rowling is just an instance of the sort of circular firing squad that you see all the time with these types, which it becomes a huge issue. Again, as I've mentioned before, right? Rowling, in her day, when she wrote the books, was the most progressive you probably would find just about anywhere. And yet, now her views have only gone to the left, right? She hasn't become more conservative by any stretch of the imagination, of course. But this is one of those where you know the political left has moved so rapidly to the left that someone who does not keep pace with that movement is, you know, a conservative by those standards, which is crazy when you're talking about Rowling. Oh, Kylie got a good grade and on the review from a mock therapy session today. Awesome. I got a good grade on my peer evaluation for teaching, so that's good news too. Same type of good news. Similarly. So awesome. Always good to hear. Love to hear good news like that. Let's freeze everyone. Whoosh. Oh, that looks like chain lightning. That's not good. Okay. Fireball. That's it, right? Oh, no. No, that's it. All right. Anyway. WizKid says, magic, evil, spare me, please God, so help me. These people are bad and puritanical as the leftists. Yeah. Yeah, that Darkest Dungeon. I love the movie. It is amazing. It is made by a bunch of nerds who somehow got the rights to it and basically just made it as written as a kind of ironic self-parody, which is just brilliant. It's just absolutely brilliant. Wait, what? How insufficient skill? Are you serious? Okay, that's weird, but alright. How does she have insufficient skill to open a lock? I thought she had maxed out lockpicking. Anyway. Erica says, link the Trent Horn as well as the as well in the description. I will. Whiskey says, oh yeah, Neville Longbottom, Primarch of Hell. Yes, the name of a demon, clearly. Oh, God. WizKid asks, I wonder what this dude would think of Slenderman cults. Those may, honestly, I mean, I'm not going to rule out demonic influence in that. A lot of those are deeply, deeply disturbing, and from some deeply, deeply disturbed individuals, whether that's naturalistically disturbed or not. There's some real creepiness going on there. I mean, if nothing else, it's a social contagion, right? It's kind of a negative meme, a kind of social contagion of something that is very particularly nasty. So yeah, nothing good there. Yeah, Kylie says Neville Longbottom was a brave cinnamon roll, but according to some people, his name is that name was actually the name of a demon, and when you read or say or write the name, you are giving that demon power, because that's how demons work. Which, to be fair, that's how demons work. Giving their, speaking their name, especially in a reverential sense, does, give them a measure of power and control over you, that sort of thing. Fine. Oh, geez, what? Shriek. There's probably more of you. That's not good. Let's force field the ogre real quick. Ogren. Attack the shriek. Attack the shriek. Attack this one. Diana, attack that one. These two. Oh god, that's not good. Fireball. Ooh. Okay. Steel. Ogren.
Let's have it quickly, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's make this quick. I'll try to be merciful. Make a preserve.
Darn it. He's down. Okay, well, we got him.
Going.
Sorry, Ogren. Whew, okay, anyway. Back to the chat, right? WizKid says, yes, he was talking about Neville. The true chosen one. This is JK. Neville didn't have the connection to Voldemort that Harry did, and couldn't because he didn't have Snape crushing on his mom like Harry did. I mean, he could have. He could have. It was that whole, like... I actually really like that idea that destiny is malleable in that way. That we do... that we are fated in certain ways, but we... Maybe, right? There are paths of providence, but we shape what that means and what direction that takes us and things like that. See, I like that. I liked that twist with Neville being the sort of other possible chosen one. Kylie says, I want to see what this dude would think of the brony cults. Oh my god. No one should think of brony cults. Kevin says, yeah, Rowling is practically our guy now. Our woman, but I think she'd be particular about that. But yeah, I've really loved the whole drama surrounding the new game, the new Harry Potter world game, the open world type one, where they had some like
the right way out.
Some like super based lad who was like an anti-SJW YouTuber as one of like the lead game designers, and then to overcompensate in the other direction, they wound up implementing and hugely publicizing the whole the gender non-exclusive non-binary character creator thing, which is all over the place these days. It's not like this is anything like overly special. Where I don't see it. So there it is. There it is. Let's take care of it.
Yes.
It's fine. Of course. Okay, cool. But I'm actually kind of loving that drama in part just because it's a back and forth type thing of that's unwinnable, because you can't apologize to the woke mob. You can't. If you do, they will just continue to destroy you because it's a sign of weakness, not a sign of actual contrition. Or at least that's how they say it. They see it as a sign of weakness. Anyway, doodly-doo. WizKid says, I love it, America divorces, and somehow we get Harry Potter and the left gets NASCAR. That is truly hilarious. Wizkid says, an aspiring social psychologist. They're fascinating to learn about, though. For me, at least, social contagion, memetics broadly, of all types, fascinate this little Zoomer brain. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like memes and the dark side of memes too, and the light side of memes, and all that has to do with that. I'll link to something I've linked to before, and I hope everyone has seen. A conversation between Jordan Peterson and Jonathan Peugeot, called "The Metaphysics of Pepe," which talks about the symbolic importance and the sort of structure behind the meme Pepe the Frog, and everything involved there, and why it means different things to different people in really, really fascinating ways. Definitely check it out. Kylie says, and Sonic OC called. Stop it. Play the Sonic OC game where you just type in your first name and then just type in the Hedgehog and then go put it in the memes channel after the stream of our Discord. Do that. It's hilarious and evil. Terrible thing. Don't do it. But totally do. Anyway, Wizkid says, like prophecies in Percy Jackson about the Neville Harry thing. Never what you expect them to be. Kylie says, I'm more on the learning the layers of of a person's social and genetic makeup side of psych, so the more evolutionary psychology type thing. Cool. Way outside my area, but cool. Interesting to learn that one problem is actually stemmed from 50 other problems, social influence. Erica says, I'm really trying to keep Michael off my computer and nothing's working. Oh, is that what the plus signs were? Gotcha. If he types something randomly or hits enter in the middle of a sentence, yeah, he does that. He totally does that. He wants to work. He wants to do computer business. Wizkid says that too, but memetics have a special place in my heart. Meme magic is real, 100%. Meme analysis is a favorite of mine. Wizkid loves the video with Peugeot and Peterson. Yeah, I love it. It's a favorite of mine as well.
No, this should be fun.
Doodly doo 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 blizzard. Liliana, back the heck up, please. Stop this. This is ridiculous. Spawn some more. Oh, it went out. Oh no. Eddie found one. I assume you mean you found one, an Eddie the Hedgehog meme. That's, or an Eddie the Hedgehog, not a meme, but oh god, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. Uh-oh, everybody needs heals. Okay, back up everyone. Time to recover a little bit. Really? Cool. Save. Eddie the Hedgehog is real, and I'm sure just traumatizing. Also, Kylie says, y'all, Avengers Endgame was intense last night. Yes, okay, despite some problems, obviously, which, I mean, we talked about a little bit last night in the relevant chat in there, over there. If you want to see, I recommend getting on that Discord and following along with some of Kylie's panicked commentary. It was nice and delightful. It was good to watch. It was very pleasant. It was very wholesome small bean. Anyway, Eddie the Hedgehog thing is just I mean, you can also look up variations of your name, too. I'm sure there's an Edward the Hedgehog, too, which is probably even worse or just as bad. I'm sure. Because I have found a Vince the Hedgehog and a Vincent the Hedgehog, and they're both real bad. They're so awful. They're so awful. Anyway, that's one of the worst things about the internet. Really.
And I'm off.
But yeah, no, Endgame was wonderful. It was phenomenal. It was a great movie. There is, I will say still, like I said, there are some problems in the writing and such. The time travel stuff is kind of wonky because it has to be, but I'm okay with that, especially because they went out of their way. They went way out of their way to make it, to sort of hang a lampshade on the time travel stuff and make it very clear that that don't worry about the rules because the rules are too complicated for you to understand. Which, okay, cool, fine. Why not? Sure, I'm okay with it. The rules of causality still seem to work just fine, so let's just go with that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I don't have an issue with with the time travel mechanics.
Reasonably well.
Especially because the time travel mechanics are not designed to make sense. Like I said, they're designed to be fun. It's a fun ride. They basically use the Austin Powers technique of explaining time travel, which is don't worry about it, have a good time.
I'm saying that there are
Kevin says it's exciting to witness the joy of others the older you get. Yeah, very true. Very true. That's why I love taking my kids to Disney.
My trousers now, or are you done?
done. Very done.
Aha, here we go. How about we force field the mage? Boom.
Yes.
Freeze you.
Not in that.
And we firestorm here. And then we frosty storm. Shush. Oh, resistant. That's not good.
Going. Yes. Going.
Rock chuckin'. Repeal.
Right ahead.
Who's like crush?
Come and get it!
How amusing. Going.
There we go. Problem solved. Poof. Alright, how about you start doing traps? Anyway.
It's done.
WizKid says, I just think they did Smart Hulk dirty. He's all Bruce, no Hulk. Yeah, kind of. They probably should have done more with Professor Hulk than that. They didn't do enough to sort of, I don't know, emphasize the whole duality of Hulk. Because there's still a kind of duality, it's just now they're working together instead of against each other. But especially like in the scene where the Ancient One pushes his soul out, or pushes his astral self out, and it's just Banner. It's just Banner. And then Hulk's body is just empty, which is so weird. I really expected at that point, and I said this in the chat actually at the time, I totally expected when I first saw that, I expected her to push Banner out and then Hulk would still be in the body, and then would go smash. And then she would have a problem that she wasn't expecting. That's totally what I was expecting in that scene. And I honestly think that that should have happened in that scene. But, whatever. Yeah, also, I will also say that I think they overplayed the joke for Fat Thor. Like, I really do think that Fat Thor was a really good idea. Like, really displaying his intense trauma and him dealing with loss and dealing with defeat like that he, in a way that, because he can't deal with defeat. That's kind of his big problem.
We're on our way.
So that makes actually a lot of sense. I'm glad they did it. The problem is they played it as a joke for literally the entire movie. If they had maybe played it as a joke here and there, but actually given him some development, I think it would have been much, much better. Much better. And treated it and let it sit. Let it be serious when it needed to be serious. That was the other thing. Anyway, so that's one thing that I found to be an issue. I really found to be an issue. Yeah, Kylie, you sure had a lot of distressed commentary in there, and it is very true. Eric was cackling at your distress in the Discord chat. WizKid said that's what I wanted, or something like it. It's like they completely dropped the whole Bruce and Hulk communications issue subplot after the end of Infinity War. I mean, it was 5 years, right? So I get it. They resolved the issues, but let us see that. You know, we didn't see any of that character development. Like, the problem with character development that happens off screen is that we don't see it. And if we, the audience, don't see that character development, it might as well have not happened. Like, from a writing perspective, it might as well have not happened. You know? And that's a big issue. Freezy time. Got him. That's it. Yeah. Erica says that's the problem with Marvel movies. They don't know how to identify when humor goes too far or when it isn't tasteful. Yeah, it's honestly the same problem to a lesser degree than they had with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I did not like. I really didn't like, because the humor was very, very crude all the way throughout, and it was way out of place for a lot of scenes. Like, there were slapstick jokes and making fun of people as they were basically, their hearts were being torn out, both literally and figuratively. Like, the scene that was just basically just mass murder was played for laughs. Both, like, all of the scenes that were basically mass murder were played for laughs. With, I mean, really, the sole exception the thing that was not played for laughs was Ego's other children, like finding out about his other children. But really, that's it. Pretty much everything else was just a funny haha moment when it really shouldn't have been. It really should have been taken very seriously. A lot of the stuff. What was it? Thor Ragnarok too. Like, the end of the world. The end of Asgard, the end of the realm of the gods, literally ending. Main characters that we've come to love over several movies just being killed in that quick, with very little fanfare or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah, I did not care for that. Erica says about 85% of Guardians 2 was just horrendous. The message was bad, the humor was completely tasteless and misplaced in most of the movie, and the tonal shifts made the serious parts lose impact immediately. Yeah, a lot of, like I was saying, we pretty much agree on this. It's honestly a big problem. Oh, crap. Kylie says, I was thinking they made Thor like that to show how badly he was dealing with things. Yeah, and I think that was really, really good, and that could have been great, and it was in some moments. But then, like, when he's having that really rough time, remember when they're trying to decide who's going to wear the gauntlet to snap, and it's basically between Thor and Hulk. And he's saying, like, do you know what flows through my veins? You know, it's flowing through me right now, lightning. And but instead of getting the line, he goes, do you know what's flowing through my veins? And then Rhodey says, cheese whiz, and then everybody has a chuckle. And it's like, dude, this guy is traumatized, and can you like not see that and give him a minute? Like, really, it was that I think like stuff like that was kind of threw me out of it. Because, okay, in some circumstances that would have been funny, right? Earlier in the film, that might have been really funny. But right there, that was kind of a nasty line. Because it felt cruel to Thor. To somebody who was obviously going through some shit. You know? It felt cruel rather than just teasing. But some of it, I thought that they did a really good job with. Like, he was genuinely pretty funny, even though, you know, cringe Fortnite, because they played up the cringe. That little bit, I think they did a good job with that kind of stuff. Him hanging out with his buddies and just being completely worthless because he chose to be completely worthless because he couldn't do it. I honestly think that they did a really good job with a lot of the Fat Thor thing, but and even like at the end. Like, when he gets all badass and redons his armor and goes into the final fight, he looks like Odin. He looks like his father going into battle. That's really cool. But yeah. We have some disagreements about Ragnarok. All right, so WizKid says, Ragnarok was great. Taika Waititi knew how to make engaging character moments for the most part. True. But on the other hand, Erica says, Ragnarok was awful. My main character favorites from 1 were literally dead on the floor, about half a second and never brought up again. Wizkid says, or just not even there. Like, all his human sidekicks. Yeah, all of his human sidekicks were completely ignored. Darcy is now back in WandaVision, which is awesome, but hasn't been seen since Thor 2, The Dark World, which no one remembers or cared about. They had to recap it in Endgame because no one remembered or cared about it. So, yeah, right. Pour one out for Volstagg and Fandral. Cheers, man. At least Hogan was able to rally the rest of the army and fight Hela. Yeah, absolutely. That was, that wasn't right. That was an issue in Ragnarok. The sort of tonal shifts, the tonal schizophrenia. Oh, so Erica also says, which is tragic because there was literally a father and was playing with his children in Thor 1. It's like, okay, he's dead. Moving on. Who cares? Here's Hela, big badass woman. Ooh, look at the girl power. Kevin says the woke broke character on purpose. We know why. Warriors 3, Erica says, were literally my favorite sidekick bros in the cinematic universe. Yeah, I love the Warriors 3. And where's Sif? Where's Sif? We're talking about badass female characters. Where's Sif? She wasn't there for Ragnarok. She wasn't there for Endgame. She wasn't there in New Asgard, which is super weird because last we saw her on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she was on Earth. Apparently not in New Asgard, though. For reasons. I think they forgot about her. Honestly, I kind of think they forgot about Sif. The actress is just kind of, calling the office and calling Kevin Feige and just like, hey, where am I? So yeah, I think that's kind of an issue. Anyway, the Ragnarok was bungled, I think, a lot in that sense. I liked a lot of the character interactions, like the Thor, Hulk, Loki stuff was pretty good, and the stuff between Thor and Odin, even Thor, Loki, and Odin, the three of them, that was nice. It was nice. It was well done. It was respectful, and it was good for the characters and all that. But Eric says another problem with Marvel is that once death was a big factor, now they just kind of brush over it and not care about them anymore. Oh, everyone's dying. Let's make some jokes. Oh well. Yeah, that is kind of an issue. I agree. They at least in Endgame did a good job of showing the detrimental aftermath. And showing that the snap, or the blip, as apparently it's going to be called, which is dumb, the snap, the snapping, that it did not have the effects Thanos intended. It did not lead to prosperity across the universe, because of course it didn't. He's an idiot. Thanos is R-worded. Is YouTube. Anyway, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, Volstagg was a father playing with his kids. Yeah, you have to pay respects, I guess. Volstagg, the big dude with the huge beard, that was part of Thor's bros in the first and the second one. The dwarf-looking guy. Fandral is the dashing dude with the goatee and beard, blonde, who looks a lot like I did a few years ago. Hogan was the Asian looking Asian actor, let's say, from Asia Planet. That was I forget exactly where he's supposed to be from, but he's not Asgardian. He's the only one who's not Asgardian. Hogan, I mean. Oh, and the Stan Lee cameo. Yeah, I forgot that he actually had a cameo in Endgame. I thought that he didn't. But he did. They made it. That was good. That was good to see. Made it through the end of the big story. It's great. But yeah. Anyway, like I said, I think that there are some problems. Even with Endgame had some of these problems, but overall, I think that the character resolutions were phenomenal. They were very, very well done overall. They were very good.
By the tits of my ancestors, Wartan Tig. I never thought I'd see this place in the flesh. I can see Bronca all over this place. She always took chips from the walls at regular intervals when she was in a new tunnel. Checked their composition. If she was still here, though, she'd have sentries out by now.
Oh yeah, Kylie mentions the security guy in Ant-Man's storage locker. Because I forgot that there was a Stanley cameo. I was thinking that would have been him if he was still alive, but they had him in it later. I forgot. Well, obviously they went back in time, so of course they did. Is that insensitive? That might be insensitive. Anyway, what if Bronca and everyone died?
Well, aren't you a sodding bright spot today? If everyone's dead, there'd be evidence of a major battle, wouldn't there? 300 or so dwarves don't just fade away.
What can you tell me about these ruins?
This was Caridin's home Tig. He was an Orton before he got raised to Paragon. Even stayed here when he could have had his own house. I guess he didn't want to move his people to Bunamar.
WizKid says, I prefer Infinity War immensely to Endgame. It just wasn't as fun to watch for me, and the pacing felt off. No, see, I don't know. I like endings. I like good endings. And I think Endgame was a good ending. Infinity War was a pitfall. It didn't end, it stopped. And so I didn't like it as much for that, mostly just because for two reasons I didn't like Infinity War as much as Endgame. One, the part in the story. I like the end more than the middle. It's why I like Return of the Jedi more than Empire Strikes Back, and no one will change my mind about that. Okay, fine, Empire Strikes Back might be a better, more coherent film, objectively speaking. I like Return of the Jedi better. Screw you guys. Same reason I like Endgame better, because it's the resolution, it's the end, it's the tearful reunion, it's all that. And the other thing is the music. Endgame just did much better with the music. Just scores better with the music. I was saying this last night too, that they actually make use of leitmotifs, where Infinity War just doesn't. They just don't use character leitmotifs. The only exception I can think of that uses a character leitmotif in Infinity War is Black Panther. We get the Wakanda theme for like 10 seconds, and that's it. And it's not even his same theme as they used in Civil War. It's only from Black Panther, from his movie. So there's some musical inconsistencies going on. Whereas in Endgame, they really play hard with everyone's musical leitmotifs coming back into play. It's so much better. So much better. Kylie says, I think Disney taking over Marvel has had the effect of sugarcoating over important deaths and serious scenes. Yes. Yeah, I think so. Marvel movies got really Marvel-y. It's just kind of a Flanderization thing, right? They started off this particular trend of having fun, lighthearted movies with dark moments, but they forgot to kind of keep those things separate, I think, over time. I think Disney getting it because, as you said, because Disney wants family-friendly and sometimes sugarcoat something very crucial and important in a previously established franchise and end up missing the mark because they twist the formula. That's true to an extent, but I do think it's just kind of Marvel becoming way too confident about what makes them Marvel, and in not so great of a way sometimes. Kylie says, like, Disney's awesome, but they shouldn't mess with the formula of another well-established franchise just because they bought the franchise. Star Wars. What's Bonamar, Ogren?
The City of the Dead.
Oh.
Sheridan built it to honor the Legion of the Dead, but it was more like a sodding mausoleum than anything. Of course, that was all before he built the anvil. After that, he was the city's pet genius until he angered the king and fell into disfavor.
So there's a city here?
No, there was a Tig here. The Orton Tig. Bunamar is north and west of here. But that's not important. Or at least I hope it isn't. The City of the Dead is known as the Dead Trenches since the Darkspawn conquered it.
Oh, great.
Much of the Legion was destroyed when the fortress fell.
What do you want to bet we're going there? I honestly don't remember. Where would Bronca have gone if not here?
I don't know. This was always her goal. She figured if the anvil wasn't here, there would at least be some clue to point her to where it is.
Kevin says I had to open the wound. I did. I really did. Let's go.
Better myself.
I will say, the Filoni-verse is doing a much better job. Dave Filoni, as more or less George's handpicked successor, kind of gets the spirit of Star Wars and does it quite well. Does it very, very well. Ogre and spiders. That's good news. WizKid says they went family-friendly to an unreasonable extreme, I think. We need darkness, we need intrigue and doubt and triumphant resolution. That's like, that's why I like Empire more. It's more real, it's more scrappy.
For believing in things which were not real.
Oh, that.
Remember what I always say about realism in media.
That. Thank you for reminding me.
I suppose it would offer some comfort to believe that things occur according to some grand purpose. All those years I spent in Honley.
Oh, we already heard this. Okay.
It would be comforting to think there was.
Anyway, but yeah, I remember what I always say about realism in media is that Superman is a more realistic character than Batman. Not because Superman could occur, but because he more closely instantiates the archetype of the hero than Batman does. Anyway, WizKid says it's more grounded See, I don't like grounded. And it reminds me of the characters in the audience. Reminds the characters in the audience their own mortality and what's at stake. I think they knew what was at stake in Return of the Jedi. I think they knew what was at stake in Endgame. Oh, good lord, did they know what was at stake in Endgame. Everyone they loved was gone, and they were fighting to bring the world back to normal, as it were. There were too many people who were resolved to sort of allow things to be as they ought not to be. And that's crap. Be serious.
Good to go.
More of them? Bastards. Fireball.
And I'm off.
Anyway, Kylie says exactly, family friendly is fun, but not something that's not made to be family friendly. That's true. That's true. Yes, I understand, but even so, it starts in Empire. In Infinity War, they were riding high, relatively speaking, and they needed to hit their lowest low before they could ascend. Honestly, I don't even think the end of Infinity War was their lowest low. I think their lowest low was, spoiler warning, mute for a minute if you don't want spoilers. I think their lowest low was at the beginning of Endgame when they killed Thanos. Because until that point, they had hope. They thought maybe we can reverse this. Their low point was after winning. And that's nasty. It's twisted, but that's really cool. I don't actually see really a problem with that. I think that's a really good twist. How the low point is not... Oh, hello. What if frost everybody? Then I fireball the ogre. And I firestorm everyone.
You forced our hand.
Another point for me. And I'm off.
Here comes trouble.
Take that, Rock. Run in fear.
There we go. That's all of them. All right. Anyway, this kid says, in my opinion, the descent into the underworld is the most important part of the hero's journey, because that's when it really truly becomes do or die, sink or swim. I honestly think it's the final conflict, right? The return. Because while the the underworld is the part of the hero's journey that is about equipping the hero for the end, for equipping them for the final battle, right? The actual final battle is what decides.
My weapon's not working.
And maybe we're quibbling over not much, right, in terms of importance in the hero's journey, because the whole hero's journey is one path. It's all one thing. No one part of it would work at all without the others, so saying one is more important than the other is kind of a stretch. What I would say is my favorite part, and fully admitting that these judgments are subjective. WizKid, so we're clear. I stand by your judgment on Empire as well. I genuinely think that Empire is probably a better film. Just objectively speaking, I just like Return of the Jedi better.
Yes.
That thing is leading us into a horrifying trap. Yep. Freezy. Darn it. Crap, what?
All right.
Let's quick save. Kylie says, great, flaming spiders. This should be in my nightmares now. Enjoy.
Yes.
WizKid says, true. Maybe we just have different preference. And that's, I think, what it comes down to. I tend to agree. I think it really does come down to preference in these terms. My favorite scene in all of Star Wars, WizKid continues, is easily the throne room. Pretty much the reasons you just laid out. Yeah, it's that ending conflict there, and especially the confrontation between Luke and his father and everything that comes with all that is oh, that's interesting. I light everything on fire. There's a golem. That's not good. Resisted that. Oh, that's not good. Uh-oh, that's not good. Hello, Golem.
Yes.
Alright, someone's chasing us, so let's go handle that. Whew, okay, that went better this time than... So the last time I played this, I had everyone die except Liliana, and she eventually had to just keep running away from the golem and picking it down with bug bites until it died, which was awful. Anyway, glad we didn't do that this time. But yeah, I think that, like I said, I think we're really just talking about differences in preference rather than in objective quality. Because, like I said, I would say that Empire Strikes Back is, objectively speaking, probably the best Star Wars movie, just based on things like cinematography, even things like character writing. It is just better. It's better paced. It's better written. It is, in general, the story has fewer holes in it and things like that. I just think it works better than Return of the Jedi, but I still like Return of the Jedi more. And that's the difference between subjective preference and objective judgment or assessment. I can objectively judge the thing, while also saying that I like something else more. My go-to example for this in class and in other lectures has been that I argue that chocolate ice cream is better than vanilla, but that I like vanilla ice cream better than chocolate. And no, there's nothing contradictory about that. I missed a corner. Let's go back. Backtrack time. Wish I had 4 speed. Oh, thank you, Kevin, for reminding me to quick save. That's important. We got less than an hour left. So. I don't think I'm getting to the part with the thumbnail, unfortunately. I forgot just how long the Deep Roads is. This is absurd. WizKid says, couldn't have put it better myself. Isn't being intellectually mature wonderful? Yeah, I'll see if I can find a subjective versus objective description or two. Because there's a good friend of mine, good internet friend of mine at least, who also has a YouTube channel, which is somehow I think still smaller than mine. It deserves to be bigger than mine. He does some really good long form media analysis content. Really, really good. I'll put a link to a thing or two about of his, something to do with this subjective and objective type analysis if I can find it. He's done a great series of analyses of the of some of the Star Wars sequels, among other things. Obviously. And like I said, he does a really, really good job of keeping his subjective assessment distinct from his objective assessment, and then so do a lot of other creators. Mostly the what they typically refer to themselves as the Longman tribe. These are folks like most notably Mahler, who I've referred to before, who I think does a great job of objective media criticism. And especially, again, like I said, keeping it separate from the from subjective assessment, from his subjective preferences. Kelly says, "I'm still getting there. Definitely want to work towards being able to have really good conversations and learning things." Getting there in terms of what do you mean? What do you mean exactly?
Moment of silence.
Oh my god. See, that would be at an inappropriate moment in a Marvel movie. Really, really would. Heavy dwarven helmet. Yeah, he needs that. Ooh. Dwarven heavy armor. Let's go with the massive. And then there. Now, but he's got much better. What about Liliana? Doesn't have any arrows. Duster leather boots. Yep, same. Nope. Shale. Merge clear. All flawed. They're all flawed. Okay. Alright, cool. Oh. Scavenger. Kevin says, Wizkid says, the not Lindsay Ellis people, you mean? Yeah, the not Lindsay Ellis people. I will say, I'm still not a fan of hers, despite what you've said. I've given her more tries. Still no. Still no. She'll occasionally hit on something insightful, but then ruin it. Really. Her critique of the Hobbit trilogy was one of those things where she had some good insights, but then ruined it about, like, you know, being a commie about labor disputes and stuff. And I was like, dude, chill. You had some actual things to say about the films. But no, she couldn't just leave well enough alone. Oh, well, that's just freaking great. Really? It's fucking wrong. That's just wrong. It wasn't even technically a trap. Ugh. That was horrible. That's not right. That was mean. Anyway, stupid spiders. Kevin says, same, I'm not well read at all. I just listen and contemplate. I honestly, a lot of my learning I do audibly. I listen to a lot of audiobooks and things, much more so than I read books. That said, being an academic, I do a good bit of reading as well. But, no. That was hot. A piece of ash. Still got me. Anyway. But yeah, it's, I do tend to, listen more than I read. Interesting.
Going. Huh.
What was over here? What about this guy?
There's nothing for you here. It's mine. I've claimed it.
Kylie says, when I read more too, my attention span's so short that so even when I want to read, it's hard to stay reading consistently for longer than a half hour. Half hour is a decent chunk to read. Don't sell yourself short. That is enough to get something read, a chapter or two. Kylie says, continues getting there in terms of being more well-read and well-spoken, being able to absorb information, but give an intelligent answer or contemplation. Gotcha. Wizkid says she just released a 45-minute video on the history of transphobia in cinema, and I just can't. Her analysis on Game of Thrones and Phantom, I assume Phantom of the Opera, will always make me chuckle, even though I loathe ContraPoints utterly. Yeah, I've only seen a couple of things from ContraPoints, mostly in response to her stuff. Her stuff? I don't even know. I don't know if ContraPoints is a drag queen, trans person, or what, or just a strange woman. But yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Lindsay Ellis typically. That video does sound not very fun. Who are you? What are you doing down here?
You've come to take my claim. You surfaces are all alike. Thieving scoundrels. Well, I found it first.
Bah, he's a bloody scavenger. Good as sod and gone.
Begone, you. You'll bring the Dark Ones back, you will. They'll crunch your bones.
Word has it you could only survive down here by eating the Darkspawn dead.
Why would they do that?
It brings the taint, turns their brains to sewage, but it hides them from the Darkspawn.
That's disgusting. I'm not certain whether to fear or pity him.
It's my
I mean, to be fair,
not
we did the
yours.
same thing.
Crunch
But...
your bones!
Okay. Oh, jeez. Interesting. Let's... spiders! Of course it's spiders. It's always spiders. Always spiders. Frosty. Frosty. Oh. There. Anyway. WizKid says, I'm severely ADD, so I sympathize with Kylie. I could read some action-adventure type stories for hours, though, like Percy Jackson or Septimus Heap. I don't actually know what... Or Shane Schofield. I don't know what those last two are. Kylie says, I have mild ADHD, but it really gets in the way when I try to focus on something. I probably have Asperger's syndrome. My parents basically had to fight not to get me diagnosed. Because they didn't want me on medication and such when I was a kid. And of course I had wild ADHD symptoms when I was a kid too, but I've more or less
This is mine.
grown
Only
through it.
I gets to plunder its riches.
Is this Bronca's campsite?
It's mine. I'm the one who found it. I drove out the crawlers. Now it's mine.
I'm not here to steal anything, I promise.
You won't take anything from Ruck? You won't take his shiny worms or pretty rocks?
Kevin says, I think I'm just impatient. When it comes to complex issues, I want it right up. I get that. I get that. I get it. I don't do that so much. It is fortunately or otherwise, I guess, fortunately or unfortunately, it's my job to simplify and deliver information in that kind of quick way. As a teacher, it's kind of my thing. I just want to talk. I won't take anything.
Oh, Ruck not mind that, maybe.
Ellie says, I have a lot of books I want to read and haven't gotten to them, but they look really good. I know that feeling. You guys have seen in some shots the various bookcases. I've read maybe 3/4. Well, like 3/4 of that one, maybe a third or so of that one. It's the curse of an academic, is having way more books than you'll ever read. So your name is Ruck?
Yes, Ruck's my name. I do not hear it much, so sometimes I like to speak it out loud. Ruck! Ruck! Ruck!
I think I met your mother. Is her name Filda?
No filter. No mother. No warm blanket and stew and pillow and soft words. Ruck doesn't deserve good memories. No.
Ooh. This kid says Septimus Heap is the seventh son of a seventh son, so it's magic stuff. Shane Schofield, or Scarecrow, is Marine Force Recon. He's an invention of Matthew Riley. I'm not familiar with either. I find the more detail Kylie says the book has, the better it is for me to get into the book. Okay. Both are series my mother shanghaied me into reading, WizKid says. I've read a lot of, as far as fiction goes, I've read a ton of Star Wars books. I was huge into the expanded universe, the what I guess now Legends, the expanded universe stuff, mostly in like high school, middle school and high school. The X-Wing series really formed a lot of what I like about reading, the action adventure type, pulpy kind of stuff. The new High Republic novels, at least what I've read, I'm like 2/3 of the way through. I've stalled a little bit, but I'm like 2/3 of the way through Light of the Jedi. I've been listening to the audiobook. I recommend it. It's actually good. It is slow paced. It's very broad because it's doing a lot more to try and set up the world and set up sort of the state of the galaxy than it is trying to establish characters and describe character interactions and stuff like that. So it's a little bit broad and all over the place without much character focus. So if you're into world-building type things, which I very much am, you'll probably like it. If you're more into character stuff, maybe give it a pass. Maybe read a synopsis and pick it up later, a future novel. Your mother misses you, Ruck. She asked me to find you.
She did not know. Not what I did. I was very, 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 very angry, and then someone was dead, and they wanted to send Ruck to the mines. If I went to the mines, she would know. Everyone would know. So I came here instead. Once you eat, once you takes in the darkness, you not miss the light so much. You know, do you not? Ruck sees. Yes, he sees the darkness inside you.
Oh. Because I'm a Grey Warden. Evan says, yeah, I read at least 105 of the EU novels. Jesus. If you include things like encyclopedias, then I probably have close to that. The X-Wing series, my favorite was probably the new Jedi Order series, the Yuuzhan Vong invasion. Love it. Absolutely loved it. I'm a Grey Warden. It's not the same.
Grey like the stone, guardian against the darkness.
You have to tell your mother you're alive.
No, she cannot. She remembers a boy, a little boy with bright eyes and a hammer, and she cannot say that. Swear, promise, vow you won't tell.
Kevin hasn't read the X-Wing novels. They're phenomenal. They're super pulpy. They're really good. I love them. Some of it's really awkward when Corran Horn is being all horny, so to speak. But otherwise they're pretty great. Wizkid says Percy Jackson, at least the first two series are all great. Riordan went full SJW lately, which saddens me. But before that, he really knew how to make compelling adventure novels like J.K. I never got into Percy Jackson. It was maybe after my time, I guess. I kind of aged out of it, maybe. Ellie says, I found I get really into the Anne Rice interview with the vampire novels because there's so much in them. Another thing I never really got into. Yeah, never into it. I didn't get. Wasn't my thing when it was big, I guess. So, Ruck, would you rather she think you're dead?
Yes.
Oh.
Tell the mother Ruck is dead. He's dead, and his bones are rotting in the crawler's webs, and she should never look again.
I'm not gonna lie for you.
No, she can't know. That is why Ruck is here in the darkness with the scuttering and the shiny. She can't know. No! Ruck will not listen. Ruck will not remember the warmth and the light and the food.
Okay, do you have anything to trade?
Ruck has some things from the camp. Sometimes the webs. You give him shiny coins, no?
Alice says, I was a huge fan of the Maximus Ride series. Another one I haven't heard of. And I was getting into reading the books that preceded the musicals, Les Miserables, The Rose, Phantom, etc. Cool. Again, not something in particular that I have I'm terribly familiar with. Anything in here I can... No, not really. How about Ogren? Dwarven heavy boots. Ooh, that's pretty good, but no. Wow, 57 gold. Holy crap, he got some nice stuff there. Wow, okay. Damn. Scale armors, medium, no. Chainmail iron. No. Regeneration, combat, and spell power. Interesting. Archivist sash. Ooh, no, I like getting experience. But that is pretty good. Need that. What about... you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Why not? I'll probably use it. Biscuit says, oh, definitely. Percy's equally squarely a Zoomer hero. At the very least, late millennial. Started in like 2006, so being early aught series of course had to be good. Yeah, in 2006 I was in high school, so I guess it wasn't. I guess, like I said, it was a little late for me. Kylie says, I haven't read the Percy Jackson series. Mom did. They got lost in all the books we have when we moved to our new house. Oh, I did read all the Harry Potter novels though. Yeah, I did as they came out. It was I was a pretty big fan. I think they were, like I said, I think they were a lot of fun. I thought they were pretty well written. Like I said, I thought they were pretty well written. Sell some of these things too. And I think they were generally good adventure stories. You know, they were good like kids adventure stories, you know. It's fine. All right, that'll do. Kind of want to steal his stuff, but I said I wouldn't, so let's not.
Looks like that bone picker is living in Bronca's old camp. Did you see the marks on the floor? There were a lot of people and fires there once. Now I know she's not here anymore. She'd never have let something like that sleep in the same spot she did.
Kevin says, I'm planning to work my way through King's works, just to say I have. Currently on The Stand, unabridged, massive. Yeah, I've never read anything by Stephen King. I have not. It's I don't know, it's I'm not a big horror buff. The only horror I've really read was probably some Lovecraft. Need that. Quest. Oh god, this fight is awful. Here we go. Ow. Recover a little before we dive into that frickin' mess of ghosts. Kylie says, her and my great grandma used to send books back and forth as they were reading and finishing them. That was the cutest thing. Yeah, that's great. I love that. It's a great type, like, bonding type of thing. What? Oh lord. Okay, that's great. Frost everyone. More freezes. Nope, nope, nope. It was real bad. There we go. Whew, okay, that was awful. Let's head back. Kevin asks, H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu? Yes, so I have read The Call of Cthulhu. I forget what it was called. The one about the damn it, what's it called? The one about the lizard people in the desert tomb. And Shadow of Innsmouth, which was really, really good. Shadow of Innsmouth was great. It was super slow. It's, again, like, his whole thing is atmospheric, Lovecraft. And he does it very, very well. Ooh, Altar of Sundering. Oh, hi.
That which was cut asunder, and revealed
A pride
my
demon.
hiding place. Speak your intention. Seek you vengeance or reward?
Sure. Reward, Pride Demon. Wizkid says H.P. Lovecraft, King of Eldritch Horror. Come on, Kylie, you're killing me. Yeah, I do actually really like a lot of his stuff. I like a lot of his stuff. Kylie says, dude, I didn't say I was way into horror. Mom is. I want to read more of it, though. A lot of the audiobooks are really well done. Like I said, I especially recommend Shadow over Innsmouth. I'll see if I can find the audiobook to put in the description. The description and or in the Discord somewhere as well.
So be it. You are rewarded, and I shall toy with this realm another day.
At least as I think horror novels are the kind that would... Oh my god, 25 gold. That's a big chunk. Kylie says, I think horror novels are the type that would hold my interest. Yeah, it could be. They are... I mean, I will say, yes, there's a lot going on in, say, a Lovecraft novel, but they are very slow-paced. Like I said, they're very atmospheric. There's a lot of build-up. So, hopefully it wouldn't kind of lose your interest. Most of them are relatively short, though. Even the longer novels are relatively short. So they're manageable. Yeah, Kevin says YouTube has a huge amount of Lovecraft audio. Yes, and most of them are very, very good as well. Most of it's pretty great. Ah, no. Well, that's not good. Oh, they're just charging straight into battle, aren't they? Damn it. No, no, no. Heal. Okay, we're good, we're good. We're gonna wait. Okay, we're gonna wait. Alright, let's heal up. Let's let it heal for a minute. Wizkid says, Win June, the dude who voices the ancestor from Darkest Dungeon, does a phenomenal job narrating Lovecraft. Really? Win June. Okay. Alright. I'll have to look into that. I don't know if he's the one who I've actually heard do it before. I would probably recognize him. I haven't played Darkest Dungeon. I have seen the ridiculous movie, which has nothing at all to do with the game. They're completely hilariously unrelated.
And I'm off.
Oh, it's not called Darkest Dungeon. It's called Dark Dungeons, I think, is the Jack Chick movie I'm thinking of. Ooh, WizKid says there's an audio floating around of Sir Christopher Lee narrating The Raven. That sounds phenomenal. That sounds great. Love that.
And I'm off.
It's like the Screwtape Letters being narrated by John Cleese. If you've ever heard that, that's, again, it's by the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. It's read by John Cleese from Monty Python and other things. And it is so incredibly good. He makes a perfect, affable Uncle Screwtape. It's so nice. It's creepy in just the right way. Just the right way. Wayne June, like Bruce Wayne. Oh, okay. Did I just read it wrong or did you type it wrong? Yeah, oh, okay. Wayne June. Yeah, why did I think Win? Whatever. But yeah, that's how they found him. I mean, they're both about dungeon crawling, so they're almost related. Yeah, fair enough. Kevin says, speaking of audiobooks, did you ever check out Children of Hurin, narrated by Sir Christopher Lee? I remember you had an interest in that a while back. I have not heard it narrated by Christopher Lee. However, I have read it, and it is an incredible book. It is... by spiders. Children of Hurin is, by my shallow expertise, is probably the closest thing to a classical Greek myth that has been written in 2,000 years.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
It is a Greek tragedy, but set in Middle-earth. It is so good. It is so dark and melancholy, though. So if you don't want to be utterly depressed by most of the novel, don't. But if you're okay with that, definitely do, because it's so good. It's really good. I would love to hear Christopher Lee read again. That sounds really, really nice. WizKid says, that's fascinating. I thought John Cleese was an atheist, or at the very least not religious. I have no idea. I really don't know. Oh god, this is a hell of a boss fight. It's a giant stupid super spider, if I recall. Kylie asks, who's Christopher Lee? Saruman. Saruman, Count Dooku, Dracula? I think he was Dracula at some point. Like a whole firestorm. Ah! Oh god, that's horrifying. I don't like that. No! Kill it. Someone kill it. Thank you. No, don't like that. Don't likey. Don't likey. Oh, he was Dracula. I thought so. Okay. It says I'm learning, but not up to speed with all the things yet. I gotta wait for Inferno to recharge because I feel like I'm gonna need it for this fight. Because this is a boss chamber if I've ever seen one. And if I recall, it's spiders. If I recall even further, it's a giant spider, a super giant spider. So I'm gonna wait a minute. And this is okay. Didn't remember the name, but now I know who you're talking about. Yeah. How long? A few seconds? We're good.
More dark. Right, okay.
You should run while you can. Make a preserver. I got it. Here comes trouble. Defend yourself.
Or Ogren got crushing imprisoned. Oh man. Alright. Let's quick save one more time. Kylie says, I'm good with faces, not names. So if a name was thrown out there, I'm probably going to ask who it was unless I look up a picture. Yeah, I tend to be the same way, honestly. I am... in fact, when I was younger, back when Star Wars weekends was a big thing at Disney World, I did oh, that's not very good. No, please no. No! Pulse. Freezy. Taking your man.
Yes.
I never liked this part. Is that all you got?
I'm dead. Ah, balls. That's not good. Alright, well, I need an injury kit. Darn it. If anyone's gonna go down, it should not be Dalen. He's my healer. Ah, jeez. Alright. Yeah, like I said, I was in a trivia contest at Star Wars weekends years and years ago when I was a kid. And I got second place because the deciding final question was on director names, stuff that I just did not know about because I did not remember like names of real people. I remembered character names and character details and stuff like that, but totally did not. Oh, that's not that big. I thought it was much bigger than that. Oh, this is horrifying. I don't like this at all. How about we go Fireball? How about I go Frost? And how about I life roll Liliana, because that's not good. How about I group heal? Oof, this is not great.
Make this quick.
Darn it. At least I've got this damage over time up.
Oh, you chip. Chip. Yes.
Here comes trouble. Asper's violence. Sometimes. Try not to look too incompetent. It's embarrassing.
Yes.
Sorry, dog. Okay. Really? Can I mana drain the thing? No. Darn. Frost. Oh, hi. Oh, I'm dead. Not again. Oh, this is not good. Damn, oh, this is not good at all. Sir? hold this. Greater. And
Come and get it!
damn it.
I shall.
I don't think I'm gonna get this. Oh, it's bad. Damn it. This is really bad. Nope, I'm dead. Let's try again. Jesus, that was hard. At least I quick saved. This is probably going to be the last thing we get to do. We are not to the incredibly spoopy part yet. I'm a little disappointed we're not to the spoopy part yet. Maybe I need to... maybe I need to give everyone flaming weapons. Or actually, you know what I need to do? Is I need to change out Shale's armor to nature resistance. Or damage to fire. That'll help, I think. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Ah! Damn.
Yes.
Now let's do it. That's freezy.
Yes. Going. And I'm off. Time to play.
Damn it. Webbed again. Bastards. Spidery bastards. And a webbed. And Frosty.
Defend yourself!
Oh crap.
Yes.
Plus. Breezy. That it? Not it. species. Repeal. Potion. Yes. Okay, that's good news, kind of.
What is that?
Did I get it? Oh, quick save. Okay. That was fun. It's, sorry, Kylie, it was not a crash. It was a death. Everybody died. So that was my bad. Silk Beave Gloves. Nature damage. I don't need that. But, Morrigan does. Bloodline? I don't need it, but nice. What's in there? Smith's Heart. Fire resistance and less dexterity. Meh. Maybe Ogren. He doesn't need dexterity. He can use fire resistance. But he already has the... No, he doesn't. Oh, no. He doesn't. That's a belt. I guess. Destruction's belt. Alright, cool. Alright, so... Alright, let's wrap up right here. Let's get everything else we need to get. Grab our next quest thingy over here. And, oh, and our treasure. I guess there's more treasure.
It's done.
And then, let's get a little bit of lore here and then wrap it up. Call it a night. Yeah, Kylie, this was the boss. This was a giant evil spider. This looks like someone's journal. The cover is battered and torn, but intact. As you leaf through the desiccated pages, the text catches your eye. We found evidence today that the Anvil of the Void was not built in Orton Tig. We'll go south to the Dead Trenches. The Anvil is somewhere beyond. My soldiers tell me I'm mad, that the Dead Trenches are crawling with Darkspawn. That we will surely die before we find the Anvil, if we find it. I leave this here in case they're right. If I die in the trenches, perhaps someone can yet walk past my corpse and retrieve the anvil. Or if it remains lost, so do we all. If I have not returned and Ogren yet lives, tell him, no, what I have to say should be for his ears alone. This is my farewell.
Bronca was thinking about me. I knew she still cared. Old softy. Looks like the Dead Trenches is our next stop then. They say that Darkspawn nest there, whole herds of them. But if that's where Bronca went, then that's where I'm going.
Alright. Like I said, I think that's all we have time for. I don't want to go super late, extra late tonight. So it's better to end like 5 minutes early and add a nice ending point like this. So, goodbye everybody. Thanks for coming by. I've got a ton of stuff to put in the description tonight, and a bunch of stuff to throw together there. So make sure you stop back by, check things out in here. I'll probably put some of these things in the Discord as well. At least some of the things that are particularly interesting, as well as a couple of interesting stuff, an article and a video on Endgame, since we just watched that last night, or some of us did. So otherwise, as I said, new videos out. Another one is coming soon, probably over the weekend. It's all done and edited. I just have to decide when to put it out. That is going to be on the Problem of Evil. I may have another one also on responses to the Problem of Evil coming out next week-ish. Excuse me, I haven't fully decided whether I'm actually going to do that one yet. We'll see. So that may come out next week as well. And I've got some other plans in the works for new things. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see all of you guys on Monday for more Mass Effect 3. We are going to be doing some more stuff on the Citadel, just some more hanging out with allies, and then going into the next story plot, which is on Thessia, the Asari homeworld. And then next Thursday, we are picking up right here, right where we left off, continuing through the Deep Roads to fight some Darkspawn and to find this Anvil of the Void. So, let's actually save, and thank you all once again for joining me tonight, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone. Good night.